Happy Wednesday, everyone. God bless you all. It's good to see you. Good to see Robert here as well. Always happy to have him on the channel. Good friend. He's got a lot of insight into the markets. So I'm always up to hearing what he's got going on, what he's excited about, the narrative that he thinks playing out here in the bull market so far. What XRP is going to do, what news about BioFi, just all the things. Excited to talk through it all. We got a lot of stuff going on. Robert's in a new place, so that's exciting. You have an equally good view, though. That's a lot better than the view out my window. So I'm jealous. I could come visit you in Hawaii one of these days.
You could, and we'd have a room for you and your wife. It might be a little tight with the kids, but we'll figure it out.
Okay, awesome. Well, audience, need from you guys, hit the like button. The currency of YouTubers, some like USDC. I prefer the like button, so please hit like. If you have any questions, we would love for you guys to direct the conversation. So if you guys have anything that you want to talk about, that's better than just me and Robert can talk anytime. Okay, so we're doing this on air so that you guys can participate. And if there's something you want to talk about, a certain token, certain project, Robert has done a lot of research on a lot of different things. So just let us know, and I will direct Robert in that direction. As always, we've had Robert on a lot, but probably have some new people here. Robert, tell us briefly about yourself. Then we'll tell us briefly about Kryptonairs, and then we'll jump into the markets.
I'm Crypto Sensei. My real name is Robert Doyle. I've been in crypto about 4.5 years now. Been through, this is my second bull market. I run a crypto community called Kryptonairz. It's filled with hundreds of really amazing people from all around the world that are interested in learning about crypto. We also have a team that provides alpha on the crypto market, and we work really hard with a lot of top tier projects to bring a lot of seed rounds and early rounds to our members, which is really exciting. That's one of the newest things that we've been able to do. Girls Cryptos is actually one of our community members, and she's awesome. She's always in every chat, and she's definitely learning, and I appreciate her.
Awesome. Yeah, good to see you guys. We'll start it out. Keith has a question, so we're going to start it out with that. But thoughts on Matic and FTM? Where do you think they're going here this bull market?
So I think those are great assets. The issue that I have is, what is the community behind those assets? Are they still there, right? They're originally from the last bull market. Usually when something happens and launches in the last bull market, you have a few years that go by where we have the bear market, and now we have the bull market again. Sometimes not all of that community comes back. So I do think those will do semi-well in this new market, but I'm really focused on newer projects that are launching that have a lot of FOMO behind them that I think will bring better returns than investing into these older assets. When we talk about older assets, maybe like, Render, XRP, XLM, Quant, like those are the things I'm going to hold on to. But Phantom and Matic, I don't own any.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so I used to be really, really big on Matic. You know, like when Disney came out and they said they were going to be doing crypto stuff, they said we're going to do it on Polygon. And Nike said, hey, we're going to use Polygon. Adidas has said, hey, we're going to use Polygon. But then they've kind of all backed away from crypto in general. So I'm not totally sure. There's all sorts of new L2s coming out. Why do you think that these newer ones are kind of seeing more steam and seem to be doing better? Is just because they're new? Why are they doing better than Polygon?
So, you know, it really depends, right? You're like, I've seen a lot of projects move off of Polygon to Arbitron's layer 3 Xi games, right? A lot of games that are moving from that to Xi, because I think there's a lot more interest. It's a lot cheaper to do on that L3 actually than using Polygon, believe it or not. I do think that it's really the community aspect and the drive behind it. A lot of these newer projects are doing, you know, airdrops, or they're doing points where their community needs to go in and do something, or talk in a Discord, or go to a web page, and it keeps people interacted with that current project. And when it launches, you have a lot of eyes on it. And there's a lot of just so many things happening right now in crypto. It's really hard to go back and focus and put a large part of my portfolio in older tokens that I don't think will quite have the biggest moves that they had last time that we had a bull market. Because a lot of those things, like Matic, I think did like an 80x or something crazy, right? Some of these other assets that are in 2021, 2022, I just don't think will have the juice.
Okay. Yep. No, my takes as well. I was DCAing Matic for a while, but just as I look at the narratives, it kind of seems like it's not the excitement's not there that once was. The real world connections are not there like they once were. So who knows though? If Disney does come back and say, hey, we're making an NFT Disney NFT collection, it's going to be on Polygon. That'll be big for Polygon. FTM, I've not been following them very closely, but it seems to me like there's not much going on Phantom really at all. Has that been what you've seen as well?
So what happened was the founder of Phantom, I can't remember the guy's name. I do apologize. Andre, there you go. See, James got it. He had left.
Some research. I do some research.
He had left, but then he came back, right? But I think when he left, a lot of momentum left with him. And so now that he's back, to rebuild that momentum that he had is quite difficult, right? Bringing people back. They might be working on other projects, developers I'm talking about. And I just think there's so many other things that you could be looking at that I think will do much better than, Phantom's maybe 5x in this bull market.
Yeah, and I think if a new project is going to launching on Phantom would be kind of anticlimactic, like going back, people would be a lot more excited. Like you said, Base is blowing up right now. Everybody's, hey, we want to launch on Base. And so there's just more excitement around some of the newer stuff. But yeah, both Polygon and Phantom have new tech and rebrands coming. I think the rebrands will help. But if you're holding on to it, you might as well hold on to it and kind of see how these rebrands go. But it's not something that I'm DCAing any longer where I once was. So
no.
What are your thoughts on Pulse Chain and RH ecosystem?
So Pulse Chain, I put a little bit money in when they had that, they had a few years ago when they were trying to build Polychain. You could what was the term? You'd send money in, you would sacrifice. There you go. That's it. So you can sacrifice. So I did do some of that. I still have several $1,000s sitting there in one of those tokens, but I'm not participating in anything to do with Pulse Chain. I'm really like the last maybe $60,000 that I've put into the market over the last 2 months has been into early seed round opportunities, either through a launchpad or opportunities that have been brought directly to Kryptonairs. And so those are the ones I've been really focused on. And one of those projects is Twin Protocol. The narratives right now in crypto, AI, DePIN, real world assets, gaming is really good too. But I think the first three that I mentioned there, if you focus on those three, you are going to find a lot of gems, especially around AI right now. It's just, you have NVIDIA going crazy, and a lot of people don't really know what they're investing in, but they see AI and they throw money in. So there's a lot of crazy things happening with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, whenever you're looking for narratives, what I found is just find what narratives are going on in the real world, like outside of crypto. So it's AI is huge right now. And so people are excited about AI. And so they're going to, how can I work that into crypto? And so you're going to see that same excitement kind of transfer over. So like you said, anything that has .ai or anything like that, even if it has nothing to do with AI at all, I've found people are like, .ai, that's exciting. We think that's going to be big. So maybe you can give us, you talked about Twin Protocol. Maybe you can give us just a couple that you've been looking at.
And
I can tell us a little bit about them.
May I present my screen, James?
You absolutely may, as well, as long as it's not safe for work. Feel free.
It's all PG, man. Sorry.
Okay.
That's the other laptop, James. That's the other laptop. So once he brings, I think you have to add it, right? Yeah, there you go. Okay, so there's two things that are happening that I think you should be paying attention to. This week, Skillful AI is going to launch on Friday. Okay, if you are on, they are offering some IDO opportunities on certain like CDeFi and some other type of launch pads. So if you have tokens staked on these launch pads and you're interested, this is definitely something. So they're on Audify World, they're on CDeFi, and then it goes live on May 31st on Uniswap and a different exchange, as well as Gate.io. People like Alex Becker have talked about Skillful AI, and I do think there's opportunity here. I had the chance, I interviewed Skillful AI like last year. I've known these guys for a long time. I actually knew them in the last bull market. And so they actually invited me to get into a seed round for the project, and I put in about $5,000. And so I'm really looking forward to this launching. I think it's going to do really well. Another project that I was just talking about is Twin Protocol. I interviewed the CEO of Twin Protocol on Monday. She is incredible. She is incredible. Twin Protocol is basically has built the infrastructure and blockchain for your digital twin ID and for your digital twin. You can basically feed this system information about yourself, and you can create a digital twin of yourself that you can use to do mundane tasks or whatever you want. Businesses really like this because often when you have somebody truly incredible that works at a company, and let's say that person is moving on, maybe you want to keep their knowledge of that company and what they've been able to teach and talk about. You would be able to program all of that, and you could have people in the company learning from that digital twin. Celebrities can use this. I mean, the use cases are really endless for a digital twin. Stacy is also heading to the UN for an AI summit next week in Switzerland. So she is the real deal. If you watch this AMA, actually, I'll post this for you. Let me see if I can bring this up. I'll post this for you. I highly recommend that you go check this out. Here we go. This is it. It's an hour long, but she is so passionate. And you know, when you're investing in any type of crypto project, you're investing in the team, right? And their ideas and their beliefs, and can they deliver on this roadmap that they have put out? And she's somebody that I believe in. And it was a very powerful interview that we had. And she's incredible. I think people should really be paying attention to Twin. We did a $175,000 strategic round raise for Twin. We were working with Singularity DAO. And now we're doing a KOL round, Launchpad round, which regular members and Kryptonairs have access to this. So I think we have about maybe like $70,000 left in the KOL round. So if you're interested, you can join Kryptonairz through James's link and participate in early round of this project. I think it's going to be big. They're planning to launch very soon. Get this, James. So anytime a crypto project launches, the biggest thing is community. How do you get a big community really quickly? Well, this is an Ajax incubation project, right? Singularity incubation project. That's a multi-billion-dollar market cap already. You already have fans there. Plus, Ajax, Ocean, and Fetch are merging to make a mega ASI is the token, mega AI project. They're going to promote this project because it's the first one coming out. And so I personally believe that 3 communities of multi-billion-dollar crypto projects are going to see Twin Protocol and want a piece of it. That's what I believe.
Okay, love that. Can you talk a little bit about how you find these projects, the early ones? Because there's so much money. We've talked about this before, but last bull market, that's how we made our living, was really just looking for, hey, what's coming up launching that has a good community, is going to do well right at launch, and then trying to get in early on it. Before the market cap takes that initial jump, people start taking their profits. Then people see the chart go down and they're not as excited about it anymore. How do you find those? What's the best way, other than joining Kryptonairs, which maybe that's the answer, is hop into Kryptonairs? But how do you find them?
You know what, James? I'll be flat honest with you here. You know, in 2021, we were waiting for projects to come to us. You know, and we would sift through a lot of garbage to find maybe something that we thought would work and the community would like. Now it's a different story. Over the last few years, I've worked really hard to build relationships with certain individuals. And so now Kryptonairs, I have access to Neo Tokyo's, syndicate project. That's Alex Becker and Elios Trades community. We have access to their deal flow. We have access to Launchpad's deal flow. We have access to deal flow from Lady Trader and a few things. And so building relationships has been the biggest driver in how I'm getting access to these projects and finding these projects. So very often somebody will open a thread with me and saying, hey, I'm marketing for this project. You know, this is a tier, blah, blah, blah. You want to meet them. And often, we work a deal out where they're interested in, raising some capital in the community, and we have the community deal directly with the projects. And so it's just been insane. And the amount of quality stuff that's coming our way, it's just top notch, man.
Can you talk a little bit about, this is for my own benefit as well. So like I woke up this morning and I have probably 20 people that reached out about different projects they want me to take a look at. So sure. Can you kind of go through your list of what's that first level where you just immediately throw it out? No, I'm not interested in that, and that. And then what are kind of some of the deeper levels where I know you're looking for a good community, a good team, some utility? Tell us a little bit about the things that you're looking for in these early things.
Yeah, team is very important, James. If you don't have a good, hardworking team that knows what they're doing, that has been here before, that has built projects before, run companies before, that's a problem. Often I meet people that just say, "Hey, I'm the CEO," and it's like, okay, well, what have you done in the past to lead anything? And often you find that they haven't, and usually those projects end up failing very quickly. You need somebody that can hire and fire and direct and build and take something forward. If you don't have that, you don't have anything. Also, you need to make sure the community is there. You can have the most incredible tech, but if you have nobody buying the token or nobody knows about it, that's a big problem, right? So like those are like two of the biggest things that I look for. Obviously, you can, if the project's already launched and you're interested in it, run that smart contract through a few Telegram bots. Find out if there's any issues with the smart contract, the LP. Can they mint tokens? There's a lot of ways to protect yourself, but if you're looking just early access, the team and the community is really the most two important parts. And also, the technology is good too. But even if they're working on the technology and the team is good about communicating what's happening and they're building that community, even that project can do well. But I really like to see stuff that's already done and then they launch and then they just add on features as they go.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I've been learning the importance of, there's two things that make crypto projects fall apart. It's just dishonesty. So you have just scammers who are running it. But then also incompetence, which is a little bit harder to detect, where people have the best of intentions. We've seen this a lot where I don't think they were scammers. They just were incompetent at running a multi-million-dollar company.
Yep.
We've seen that a lot. We saw that a lot last bull market where it's like, hey, things are doing great, but it takes a lot of skills to run a 7-figure company, 8-figure company, 9-figure company. It's not something that just any Joe Schmo can do. And so, yeah, I really like what you said about seeing what they've done before. Like, have you ever run a company of this, Matt? These are companies that you're trying to run. Yeah. Have you ever run a 8-figure company before? And if the answer is, well, no, I'm just going to figure it out as I go.
Yep.
Well, that's recipe for disaster. And that's where most of these, crypto's made it so easy for anyone to start a business and get tons of funding. And so you just have to be careful through those things. So love that. Let's see. Let's bring up some of these audience questions here. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you leading the charge. What are your thoughts on edge matrix computing? Is that something that you've looked into, Rob?
I have no idea about edge matrix computing. If you want to pull it up, let's take a look.
Welcome. Building the future of decentralized AI. That is a buzzword right now, is decentralized AI, which AI does need. I will say this, AI needs a ton of computing power. You would not believe how much some of these AI models, how much computing power they need to work. And so I am really interested in how AI and crypto, there's a lot of projects that are using take some of your extra processing power and give it to AI generation. So anyway, so I am interested in some of this. So there's another buzzword, DeepIn. Global initiative. One thing I'll recommend to project founders too is don't use jargon on your websites. You want people to know very clearly, hopefully people could say, don't say the next generation of AI infrastructure. Just say what you're doing. Because I'm not even totally sure after looking at their homepage.
Look at their Twitter, James. Look at their Twitter and what their community looks like on Twitter, because that's really important.
Yeah. Good idea. Yeah, if you're looking at something, if the website looks decent, that's a good sign that they have at least put some money into it. 94,000 followers on Twitter, but then you want to look at engagement too.
Yep.
And kind of see, if you have 94,000, this.
Yeah, and you're getting 10 comments and 13 retweets. I think they're bots. Yeah, this is a bot.
You don't want to. This is not to be racist, but this is not something that I want to necessarily see.
Well, it's multi-world, James. No, it's multi-world, sir. But with the comments. So now check the Discord and Telegram to see how the chatter is going, because these are the three things I check every time. Usually you can really see if there's any community at all. The Twitter looks very suspect, having that many people and not being able to build a certain following with your posts. That's not a good look. So 15,000 members.
Yeah, they're I'm not sharing the right screen, but yeah, they've got 15,000 members, and it looks like there's a fair amount of chatter. So that's a plus. I'm still not like 100% sure what they do. All that to say, we gave you a little insight into how we would look into a project like this. Next, I probably would check out their docs. Honestly, what I would do is I would send their white paper into ChatGPT and say, tell me what this project does. But I do like AI. Yeah. So we can look into it, Tyrone, if you would like, and maybe, but it's not one that I've looked into. And from first glances, their Twitter page makes me nervous. So just tread cautiously. The other one was Spexagon, which is the D-Pin project, which I have heard of. Actually, Scott, it might have been from you who told me about it before. So when I start hearing about things from multiple places, that's another thing I pay attention to. But this looks really interesting to me. I don't know, Robert, have you heard of this one yet?
No, I haven't.
There's so many new ones coming out. It's hard to. Yeah. This looks really cool, though. That's one thing is, are they doing something new, something that couldn't be done, without crypto? This looks really cool, though. Thanks for bringing these to us. But yeah, you're always welcome to bring stuff to us. So they're smaller, 3,000 followers. So they must just be getting started. They must have not done a big marketing push, which is something to keep in mind. So that could be good or bad depending on how you look at it. Sometimes it's good to get in on things before the big marketing push. So really interesting stuff.
Go to Biga Arcade, BIGA on Twitter.
BIGA. Oh, on Twitter.
Yeah, BIGA. Yeah, Arcade. There you go. So it has a check mark at the bottom. Oh, there you go. Click that. So this is an interesting project. Okay, it hasn't launched yet. Can you go to their link tree? You're gonna have to do a few things. Go to their link tree, and then it'll say register. And then I'll break this down for you really quickly. Register, yeah, and then delete the register part and just go to the website, bigarcade.org. There you go. That's what I wanted. So we're having Paul in. Paul's the CEO of Big Arcade, and what they've done here is most crypto gaming. Let's be honest, it sucks. Most of these projects launch games that nobody plays, and that's really unfortunate. The cool thing about this is they're building the games themselves. And they have, let's say one game has 100 levels. And if you go and you play the game, you put in 10 cents of the Biga coin, and you play the game, and you get the highest score on that level. Now you own that level. And anybody else that plays that level, if they put their 10 cents in, they play the game, they lose. The person that owns the level actually gets most of that money. The team gets a small share, and the player gets the share. That's why you see these numbers over here. This is play money on the right side. What the top 5 earners. So they had about 3,000 or 4,000 players just a few months ago, and now they have over 20,000. This has been growing really nicely. And this is an opportunity that we're going to be bringing into Kryptonairs. It's going to be a 500K market cap when it launches. And I think they really do have the game mechanics figured out. I've also been told by a source that they have a lot. They talk about having 8 games. Right now they have 9 games, but I've been told they have a lot more games already done, ready to go. So I'm really, really interested in Biga Arcade because of those reasons. And the guy, Paul, that runs it, I had a meeting with him last week. Truly incredible, inspirational. I think, when anybody watches that interview, it'll be very, very powerful. And we're going to be able to get into a seed round in this project as well.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, no, I love crypto gaming, but like you said, we just haven't seen the traction. I'm still waiting for Illuvium, which some of these you just get so tired of waiting for. It's just years and years and years of the same. waiting. But I'm still waiting for Illuvium, and I'm kind of waiting for some game on crypto that brings in the masses, where you start getting non-crypto people that it catches their eye and they start jumping in. I've always thought gaming could be the bridge between the rest of the world and crypto, but yeah, we just haven't seen it quite happen yet. So
it's coming, James.
It's coming. It's coming. Just takes time. So, a lot of ways it's similar to when the internet started. It took, there was an initial boom, and then kind of people lost interest a little bit. And then some people, the internet's going to die. It's not going to last. It's not going to be. And then eventually, it took 10 years, but then eventually everyone was on the internet. And I think we'll probably see something similar with AI and also with crypto blockchain, where it's going to be eventually everyone's going to have some kind of exposure to AI and crypto. So let's see.
I sent you another project,
sending
James.
me some links. Look at this.
Yeah.
You just got projects left and right.
I do, man. I do. I look at maybe 50, 60 projects a month, and they're really quality projects. So some of the best stuff I kind of bring to the top to show you. So this is Revered, and they're building out a few different games. It looks a lot like Fortnite. It looks really clean, built on Unreal Engine 5 when it loads. I also sent you the pitch deck, but the website is really well done. If you scroll down, it'll tell you a little bit more. You can just exit out of this, and you can scroll down and tell you a little bit more. But this is also another seed opportunity that was brought to me yesterday that I went through in my market update chat. And, we kind of look through what's going on here. This could be really, really, really interesting. I still need to find out, like, when it launches, meet with the team, get some more information. But this is one of those gaming ecosystem that's being built. They have a marketplace. You can craft, you can make armor, make guns, and then you can sell them on the marketplace. This might be something very interesting for people that, play Counter-Strike and Apex Legends and all that stuff. Yeah, Valorant.
I just joined the newsletter, so
yeah, there you go.
Congratulations to Revived. That's awesome. Can we talk for a minute about? So you have all these opportunities in Kryptonairs. Mm-hmm. I think one question I get a lot about communities like Kryptonairs is how much money do I actually need liquid to take advantage of some of these things? Like, if I have $500 extra, is it going to benefit me to hop into Kryptonairs and start, trying to get in early on some of these things? Or what would kind of be like the minimum that you would see people can play around with?
So, James, there's people in there that have all kinds of, different, some people in there have 8-9 figures. Some people in there have, $500 or less, right? So it all depends on what you value a membership, what you value finding out first, top crypto information. I mean, when you build an army of really smart people that are all out there gathering information on the crypto space, you have a great team that supports you, and it does live TA sessions to help you understand how to do TA. We have somebody in there doing all the Bitcoin runes information. That's Cam. He does a really good job. I mean, there's always somebody in there to help you. And that's really what we built. We built the community to help, bridge people from that beginner to intermediate to expert. I've had people that have joined Kryptonairs, and after 6 months, they're better than me at charting and a lot of other stuff, right? And it's really a good community to just share ideas. Hey, I've seen this project. Can somebody else take a look at it? And often people will find issues or say, hey, this is a great project, and then we'll get into it together. It's all about that shared knowledge, and that's really powerful. So whether if you can afford the membership, you got to look at it as, will I have this information myself? Can I go out and get this information myself? And if I can, how much of my time will be spent to get this information? And now, what is my time worth, right? So is it going to take you 5 hours of time to get the same information you could have got just by clicking on a channel on Kryptonairs? Well, if 5 hours, $20 an hour, is that worth your time? So, like, people, time is very important. We have families, we have friends, we have hobbies, we have jobs. There's things we want to do in life. And so you can't always be on and in the crypto market. There's very few people that are on 24/7 like you and me. And so this helps those people greatly. And I'm really proud about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say too, don't underestimate, for the people watching, don't underestimate just the power of education where
Yeah.
even if you don't have the funds to necessarily get into all these things right now, that might actually be better for you. A lot of people would be better served by getting into the market slowly rather than, my first time in crypto, I'm going to put all my money into the first project that I see.
Yeah.
It might be
Bad idea.
better to slow down and kind of learn, like, oh, okay, what's this one? Oh, how is this one going? How did this launch go? And watch a couple launches, kind of see, oh, how did that go for the people that got in? And in some ways, you might be better off having less money and not losing it right off the bat, because a lot of people jump right in and they think they know what they're doing. Honestly, I did this when I got into crypto. I had a whole bunch of money when I got into crypto, and I jumped in on a whole bunch of things that I didn't really understand, didn't understand how the markets work, didn't know how market cycles worked. And I lost a bunch of money because I jumped in on too many things that it's like, oh, in retrospect, I shouldn't have done that. So, even if you're just getting the education, you could look at something like Kryptonairs as just education, where you're not looking at it as an income stream yet, but you're looking, hey, I want to educate myself, and then now I'm ready. Okay, I've been in Kryptonairs for a few months. I've seen what they do. I've seen how Crypto Sensei looks at projects, what the difference between the good ones and the bad ones. So that's a underrated. It's not as sexy to not talk about making money, but education is not that sexy, but so important in this space. So
People work 12 years to become a doctor. It takes time to educate yourself on any topic. And so putting that time in and getting that information can really change your life, because we know this market is going to 8 or 10 trillion, right? And understanding what the narratives around this market, because every market is different and narratives change in the market. So to understand those changes and to understand those narratives can be extremely powerful for your education. So you know exactly what is happening in the market and how to take advantage of, market's going to be down or the market's going to be up. There's a lot of sway and arbitrage that you can do to, keep stacking your chips.
Yep, absolutely. Totally agree. Let's see. When we get people saying they are not doxxed, it's a no-go. Yeah, I've moved to that. I used to not be on board with that. But just knowing, like we talked about earlier, knowing the history of the person that made the company. I'm not getting into any undoxed projects going forward. I used to be more okay with that. I was okay. I had a lot of play money last bull market, and so I was jumping into everything that there was. But this bull market, my plan is to go a little slower, get into things that I think won't just fall apart when the bull market's over. What are things that are offering real utility to the world? Like that Spexy thing that Scott talked about. That's cool. That's offering something new to the world that I think could be really cool. Scott says Spexy has mapped all of Vancouver within weeks using individuals and their drones. So yeah, that's a really cool idea. It pays people for mapping out their area. I think that's a neat way to do it. Let's see.
I'd want to know kind of like how is the project going to make money on mapping, the world? Is that going to be used for like drone delivery, or what is the point of mapping it? I'd love to understand that.
Yeah, that's a great question. That'd be really cool. So yeah, let me do. Robert says you want to share your link for Kryptonairs. Yes, I do. Let me grab that real quick. So yeah, if anybody would like to join Kryptonairs, again, me and Robert we have very different functions in the crypto community. Okay, Robert is out there in these crypto projects, looking at them day in and day out. I'm in crypto as much as I think it can provide some kind of financial benefit, but I'm not spending hours every day looking at new crypto projects the way Robert is. And so if you want to be a crypto bro, a crypto person, then being in a community like Kryptonairz, I think, is really key to that. Because I don't think you're going to have as much time as Robert does. Like, this is Robert's full-time job. And you are not going to be able to make it your full-time job, probably. And so just kind of jumping on his back and taking advantage of his expertise is a great way to do it. So this is Kryptonairz. It's 5-day free trial. So you can try it out for 5 days. So you can hop into the Discord and just see, hey, is this info that would have been helpful? You can look at the past results, like how is it done? Yeah. Robert, do you want to go through kind of like what all is in the Kryptonairz community, what all people can expect?
So I mean, there's a lot of different things, and people are here for different things. Some people come in to learn about TA. We have a great team that helps with that. Some people are there to get in early, right? When you're a retail trader, when you just get into crypto, you're just an average trader. You're buying something when it launches on an exchange. Then you're like, hey, what's a pre-sale? You start understanding about pre-sales. And what is before pre-sales? Well, those are seed rounds and KOL rounds that are done by the project to help boost and bolster the project to give it money to build or do things. And usually that happens months before it launches. And so you really want to get in with the VCs, right? You want to get in at the lowest point. So when the token launches, you can actually sell some of it and make money. That is really what you're trying to do. So there's those channels where I'm posting all the seed round information and what the interest level is in the projects that we do. There's probably like 6 or 7 of them. We just started this a few weeks ago. We don't want to oversaturate the community with projects, but we really are identifying the top and good ones that I think might do well. And then the community kind of votes on what the interest level is. Then we have like the DGen meme channel where people hang out and trade meme coins. And that channel is very, very busy. We have courses and education. We have a few channels where we talk about just the top projects that we like that are in the market, like your Caspas, injectives, renders, all sorts of things. And then, there's my chats. I do 2 chats a week on Tuesdays and Fridays. Those are very good to go to get a lot of information. I know people that show up to every single chat, and those people know a lot about crypto. This is where I'm sharing alpha all the time. And there's a bunch of other channels in there to deal with, people that are chatting, people that are getting help for research, people that are asking questions. I mean, there's a lot of really good love and help there, right? People need help and people need access, and that's what we're providing to people.
Absolutely. Robert, can you talk a little bit about how you take profit on some of these projects, especially the ones that you're getting in early? How do you approach taking profit on these? Do you wait till kind of the initial pump is over and then you take a little profit and get back in, or is it case by case, or what's your kind of general rules?
It's case by case, right? If the real way to do this, if it's a meme project or if it's a new real project, if the project launches and goes up, a few 100%, I'm usually taking out my initial investment plus a little bit of profit. Then I will kind of leave, what's left and decide. Some of these seed round projects, though, you get, 15 or 20% of the tokens at the token generation event, which is the token launch. And then you get the vesting period. Sometimes the vesting can be 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. I'm very focused on vesting that is 12 months because I want to sell all of it or most of it in the bull market. Because when the bear market comes and you're still holding those tokens, those are going to be worth a lot less. So I plan to sell 95% of my crypto. I am always taking profit. When projects are up, 1,000%, 1,500%, that is a great time to take money off the table and say, hey, do I want to put this to new projects? Do I want to go put this in my bank account? What do you want to do with that money? Leave some dry powder on the side. There's all of these different things that you could be doing. I think what happens is people get caught up in, oh, it's up 1,000%. Oh, it'll go another 1,000%, and then it drops, right? So have that, sell 20% of it, sell 50% of it. And then if you want to hold on to something for a later pump, that's fantastic. But if you're not selling into huge green candles, you're doing it wrong.
Absolutely. I think that's really, really good advice there. So let's see. Any other questions here from the audience? Let's see. My computer is going very slow. Let's see. Crypto Sensei the shaders to prove his background is real.
It was a little bright, so I didn't know. Thanks, real. You can actually hear it. I'll show you. You can see the ocean. There's the ocean back there.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I gotta get out there.
It's nice, man.
You're gonna be my next stop. I would love to get out there. Then we got Tanvir, who's my thumbnail guy. So if you're looking for thumbnails, hop in with Tanvir. So awesome. Before we go here, I would like to hear XRP update because I'm holding a bunch of XRP now. And as always, every time I bring you on, you're my XRP info guy. So What's new? Is it kind of just still in a holding pattern? Sit and
Yeah,
wait.
yeah.
Where are we at?
So yeah, we're exactly where you were. I mean, Ripple is really focused. So Ripple went out, mastered cross-border payments. They are getting money licenses for pretty much every single state in the U.S. They cover about 90% of the FX market, the foreign exchange market, which is about a $7 to $8 trillion a day market. What Ripple needs right now is liquidity, and what they're doing is they're creating a stable coin that's going to be ERC compatible. So people be able to move money from Ethereum to Ripple stablecoin. That is going to create a lot of liquidity inside of the ecosystem, right? We want trillions of dollars of liquidity. And then you can use the stablecoin, you can use XRP. But the fact of the matter is, if we want to move trillions of dollars a day, we need liquidity. And that is going to help provide a lot of that. Ripple's still working with central banks. They're still working with banks and they're creating partnerships all over the world. But their last acquisitions have been around tokenization. And if you've seen Larry Fink talk or any of these, Citi and these big guys, they will tell you that tokenization is the future. Now, how much money are we talking about here? Because that's really what we should understand, right? What does tokenization mean? How much money are we talking? Right now, you can basically tokenize every stock, bond, derivative, money market, equity. You can real estate. You can obviously do gold and other rare earth materials. Every single thing of value can be tokenized. Doesn't mean they will be tokenized, but the financial markets, all of your deposits in your bank, all of your banks will have their own stable coin, right? And they will need a bridge asset in between that. And you're seeing regulation now being passed by Congress, the FIT 21 Act. And that's going to help the SEC understand that they don't have jurisdiction over most of the crypto market. The CFTC will. And the US is the biggest crypto market. So we need smart regulation. Other countries will follow us into that. And soon we will have global regulation. Once that happens, then you can start understanding why something like XRP will be used, right? If you look at the BRICS countries, just to kind of wrap this up, you have Brazil, India, China, South Africa, and Russia. Their currencies are not used globally for trade. The US dollar is still used for trade in an unimaginable number. And so those countries, the BRICS countries, are all looking at each other like, hey, maybe we'll use your currency, but they fluctuate so much. So what you really need for these countries and every country is a bridge asset that those countries can use, that they trust, that will hold a high stable value. And I do think that XRP is one of those tokens that will have that high stable value.
Okay.
Did I say that?
No, good insight. Yeah, no, good insight.
We're still waiting.
Maybe along with that, last question here, and then I'll do some calls to action for the audience. Crypto regulation. Where do you see that kind of going? Do you think the election is going to affect this? I know Trump's coming out talking about. What are your takes on all that?
So, don't listen to what they say. Watch what they do. You have somebody that has lied more times than, publicly lied about things more times than any other politician in human history. Trump saying that he's going to do something for crypto. Unless he's getting some type of payment, he's not going to really do anything. He's not going to be focused on that. They're investigating him for some oil bill, right? Their oil companies are trying to get Trump to do some legislation to save them billions and billions of dollars, and they want to pay him $1 billion. That's a new thing that they're starting to investigate. So I just think one side of it is a little scary. I don't know how markets are going to react if Trump gets reelected. Biden, a lot of people, have certain feelings about Biden. The press picks on Biden a lot. But when you look at what he's done for the actual country, student debt forgiveness, he's built the infrastructure bill, which is actually helping almost every state, including Republican states all over the country. There's a lot of really great things that have happened over the last 4 years. With crypto regulation, what you're seeing right now is it's in the House. It has to pass the Senate. And Biden did say that he would sign it. So maybe we will have regulation before the elections, and that'll be a non-starter because I think Trump understands that he needs more support, right? He kind of pissed off Nikki Haley voters. And in some of these states, he was losing, he lost 10, 15, 20% of the vote in the Republican primaries. You can't do that on election day. He lost Georgia by 11,000 votes, right? So he understands that he needs to bring in new people that will vote for him. And he's understanding that crypto people might be those people. So whatever it is, I think it's good for crypto. Both sides are pro crypto now, it seems, but watch what they do, because they'll tell you one thing and they'll do something else. That's every politician in history.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of wisdom in that. You're totally right. Politicians will say whatever they need to, whatever they think will get them the votes, but then what do they actually end up doing? That's the real question. So
yeah,
good wisdom there, as always. Sensei info from Crypto Sensei here. So let me end with a few calls to action for everybody. I would love for everyone watching to go try out. You don't have to pay anything, but I would love for you to at least go try out Kryptonairs. Just give it the 5-day trial. Look over the Discord, see what info's in there, what you think would be beneficial to you. Go hop in there. That is free for 5 days, so go check that out. Here is their WAP page, which WAP is just a platform to help facilitate private Discords and things like that. So you go hop
look
in
at
there,
those reviews, James. You see those
What was
reviews? Did you see the reviews?
Oh, yeah.
52 out of 52, 5-star.
See, that is incredible. That is incredible, having 52 5-star reviews. Okay, so everybody who's left a review is happy. And when people are angry, they leave reviews. The two people who leave reviews are people who are really angry and people who are really happy. So you don't expect to see 50, and 52 is a lot. Okay, that's not like, oh, we just asked a couple people to go leave reviews and we got 3 reviews and it's Robert and his mom and his wife. No, this is 52 people who've, determined, hey, this is good enough to give it 5 stars. Not even just 4 stars or something like, hey, it's great, they could add this or that, but these are like completely satisfied people. Most people I've talked to, they say, oh, Kryptonairs has paid for itself 1,000 times over. So go check it out, give it a try. Here's the website. All these links will be in the description. I'll post them here too. And go follow Kryptonairs on Twitter, and also go follow Robert on Twitter. He's got, let's see, what are you on here?
Crypto Sensei. The O is a 0.
Crypto. I know I follow you, but there we go. Crypto Sensei. Go follow him on Twitter. He's got a lot of good information, and oh, look at that. Me right there at the top. So yeah, definitely go follow him on Twitter as well. So appreciate you guys, audience. Appreciate you, Robert. We're going to keep doing this once a month, once every 6 weeks, a couple, whatever it works for us. But appreciate you and your expertise, your asset to the space. So thank you, audience. Thank you, Robert. Have fun in the bull market, everyone. God bless you all. Talk to you later. Have a great